Now, Bill O'Reilly is here. Hello, Bill.
Beck, how you doing today?
I'm good. I don't know. How do you think this Kavanaugh thing is going to come down?
I think it'll be confirmed tomorrow afternoon. He's going to. I guess I'd say 60-40 at this time. But I think he's going to. It'd be very hard at this last gap for any Republican to vote against him because there's new information. And I don't know whether you guys know the new information because the media is not reporting it, including Fox News. According to Wall Street Journal, Dr. Ford's people, that includes her lawyers and her advisors, tried to get a woman named Leland Keyser to change her testimony. That is in the FBI report, apparently. Now, Leland Keyser was the best friend to Christine Ford when this incident about Kavanaugh allegedly took place and was named by Ford as an eyewitness. Keyser all along has said, I don't remember anything like this. I don't even know Judge Kavanaugh. Well, now the Journal is reporting that Ford's people, and they name a woman, Monica McLean, texted Keyser and said, hey, you got to change your testimony. You got to help Christine. That's a huge story. Well, enormous story.
There is also another story that in the FBI testimony that it shows the leak came from Chuck Schumer. That it was Chuck Schumer's office in cahoots with one of the beach ladies that Ford talked about.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's any doubt about Chuck Schumer or Dianne Feinstein at this point that they are corrupt.
So, Bill, should there...
One more thing. This Monica McLean, by the way, this was the woman who Ford's ex-boyfriend told the Senate Judiciary Committee that Ford tried to help her get through a lie detector test.
Yep. Because
she was applying for a job at the FBI. This now bolsters the ex-boyfriend's account. Now, this may seem in the weeds, but if the Judiciary Committee, and I believe Grassley may do this.
I hope so.
He could haul Monica McLean and others in Ford's camp in front of the committee, and he could bring back Ford and say, you lied to us about the lie detector test. If that happens, Ford could be prosecuted. Now, I don't think it will.
I think it should. It should.
I think it should, too.
Here's the thing.
Anybody, Kavanaugh lied or Ford lied, anybody, they should be held to account.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't care if it is Mark Judge or if it is Professor Ford.
Right.
If you lied, you should go to jail.
Right.
This is too serious. This tore the country apart. And
Absolutely.
For what? If this was coordinated, and I mean Chuck Schumer as well, if Chuck Schumer leaked this, he should also stand some sort of penalty. But anybody who was involved, there was one guy who, what was it, Stu? He came out and he said, oh, I know I have this evidence. I saw this happening. And as soon as I'm sorry to ask Stu, he's been drinking this morning, Bill. You wouldn't believe it.
I heard.
Yeah, it's bad.
They have him arrested.
Yeah,
Bill, I like to be drunk for all of your interviews, if that's okay.
That's all right, Stu. I mean, it's a better state for you because you can't understand them sober.
That's true. That's fair.
So there's one guy who came out and leveled accusations and then immediately retracted them and admitted that he was lying.
Everyone likes to focus on Ford, but there's been 5 accusers.
Yeah. This is the Newport Harbor guy.
Yes.
But look, when you get into a situation, and this goes right back to the Me Too thing you were talking about. Did you see Alyssa Milano this week say, it doesn't matter if individual men get crushed. It doesn't matter because women have been abused for so many years, and I have no sympathy for men, innocent men, who get crushed. I mean, once you're into that zone, and we've discussed this before, you're into Stalinism.
You are.
We don't care.
Yeah.
If some guy didn't do something like Kavanaugh or whoever it may be, and you get it, and your career and family and everything else is destroyed, that's the price you got to pay because of the past injustices against women.
But that is the mixture, Bill. That's the combination of postmodernism and social justice. Social justice now is the vehicle for postmodernism. And the idea is it doesn't matter if she was telling the truth because others have been in her situation.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if he did it because others have been in his situation. What matters is communal justice. That's
the other
evil.
key to this that other people aren't talking about and the media will never report on is that the same people that organized a sponsored boycott against me when I was on Fox News are now paying people to go to the Capitol to scream and yell at senators about Kavanaugh. The same outfits are doing it. Move On leads the league. All right, they've got the mailing list. They've got all the information. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sitting there going, deja vu? Yeah. Same people. So now, in addition to insanity like Alyssa Milano, individual insanity, then you have an organized, coordinated effort with tens of millions of dollars, courtesy of George Soros and others, okay, who are organizing, sending people, paying people to go in and disrupt, sometimes physically, the process. And Americans are basically in the dark. They don't know what's happening, Beck, because it's not reported.
Well, I will tell you, I listen to that stupid New York Times podcast. I listen to it every day just to hear what spin they are putting on it. And it made my eyes bleed today. I couldn't take the hypocrisy. But one of the things they were talking about is, I'm really concerned because things in the Capitol are becoming very scary. They're very scary for reporters and for these senators, and things are getting out of control. Yeah. Gee, do you think so?
Doing that.
Yeah.
Did you know?
It's not the right.
New York Times.
Go ahead.
No. I love the banjo.
It's not a banjo, but. It's not a banjo,
even remotely close to a banjo. Have you ever heard instruments before, Bill?
Stu, you better watch it, man. I know where you live.
All right, we're about 10 minutes from the beginning of the key Senate vote with Kavanaugh. Bill will be with us. We're going to continue our conversation here in a second. My blood pressure is 145 over 98, and my pulse is 120.
145 over 98. That feels like really.
It's not good.
That doesn't seem healthy.
That doesn't seem. Well, look at.
Well,
me.
I wanted to try to get through Killing the SS, so
yours?
I wanted to get drunk first.
Yeah,
that's how this works. I mean,
wow.
It's a big book coming out. When does it come out, Bill? Is it Tuesday?
Tuesday.
It's really good.
SS.
Really good.
The worst war criminals in history. Tuesday advance, and books already sold 75,000 in advance sales.
Wow!
So
and you only have 71,000 in the trunk of your car, which is nice.
Yeah, I know. and the gas is going up. It's really
I know.
all over the place.
It's actually a really good book, Bill. Really good book.
4 minutes.
4 minutes to the vote. Senator Collins has just voted yes on the advancement. She said she'll announce her final decision at 3 p.m.
Is she delaying this again? I mean, because everyone thinks this vote is going to be consistent with the vote that would happen this weekend. Are we really thinking that she's going to change this now?
No. She'll vote for it. All the Republicans will vote for Kavanaugh because if they don't, they're out of the Republican Party.
Well, Flake.
That's it.
Flake.
Yeah, he's already out of he's leaving, right?
Yeah, he's leaving.
Wait,
No, that's true. But I don't think Flake wants to go out on that note. Remember, Flake wants to get a job as a lobbyist. He wants to go around and give speeches, maybe write a book. If he's got the machine against him, that's going to hurt him in retirement as far as earnings are concerned.
Yeah.
So that's where he is.
Bill, I want to ask you, honestly, Daines from Montana is leaving to go to his daughter's wedding. And this is a really important vote. And who knows what happens in 12 hours even if something goes wrong. But I thought to my daughter, and I was like, you know what? I would totally leave.
I would
go
leave.
To my daughter's wedding.
I'd leave. My daughter's wedding.
Is that the right choice?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they can't work out something on that. There are ways to vote. But look, if your daughter's getting married, your daughters get married. Maybe they could move the ceremony later, and he could. But I don't know. But you're right. You got a family first.
And there's no reason why these guys have to be there. Why are we using 1700s technology for these votes? Mm-hmm. There's no reason. He could be on a phone.
Right. And they could make an exception, I think. But you're right. Okay. What else?
All right. Well, geez, Bill.
Jeez, I mean,
sorry about that.
I thought
we're ready to go on SS if you want me to give you some.
No,
we got 2 minutes before the vote. Give us 2 minutes on killing the SS.
All right, look, the book is about evil, and my contention is that most Americans don't understand evil. My mother didn't. She lived a very
she raised you.
Life. Yeah, she spawned me, which is obviously, but she loved me and thought I was good. So obviously
she didn't understand
evil. Right. So we're seeing so much evil in America, are we not? People walking into schools and gunning down kids, clerics abusing children. Chicago, where thousands of people are shot by drug gangs and nothing's done. Opioid epidemic through the roof. This is all evil. It's centered on evil. And so I wrote SS with an eye on explaining to the reader that these concentration camp guards and the people who killed babies and gassed innocent people were farmers and merchants and bankers. They weren't anything trained to do this. They weren't assassins. They were regular people, and once the war started, they put on their black uniform with the Death's Head insignia and went in and did the most horrible things that history's ever seen.
Okay. The book is better than his explanation. It's Killing the SS comes out Tuesday. All right. We have Bill O'Reilly. We have Mitch McConnell still yakking. Can we keep him in the background just a little bit? He's so... Just take the vote, Mitch.
Take the vote, yeah. I mean, geez, this has been a long freaking run here.
I mean, who wants to delay this vote? Apparently, it's Mitch McConnell now.
Oh, just vote. I agree. But this is the first time I've ever seen McConnell have a pulse. I mean, this is about as crazed as Mitch McConnell gets.
Orrin Hatch is behind him sleeping. I'm not kidding.
He is. I see him.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
No, but he's not. He's doing his mantra. He just looked up.
I mean, he could theoretically.
Orrin Hatch's
there he is.
mantra
he might have been praying.
No, Orrin Hatch's mantra is, "I want to go home."
Yes, please.
Orrin Hatch had a really funny confrontation with a protester in the elevator, and they did you see that, Bill?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, and and it was interesting to see how the protesters did not care what he said. They were looking for an opportunity to yell at him. It had nothing to do with the content of what he said.
Well, the more you yell and the louder you are, the more you get paid. There's a scale of yelling, and if you reach a crescendo, you get more money from Move On.
Hey, let me ask you this.
And Move On, by the way, created to move on from sexual assault allegations. Remember that. That was Bill Clinton. Move on from the Monica Lewinsky thing. Move on. Yeah, it's amazing that that's still around at this point in the Me Too movement, right, Bill?
Well, what about Katz, the main lawyer for Christine Ford? She exonerated Al Franken. Al, come on, he's a comedian. All right. So look, everybody, anybody honest knows what this is and knows what's going on.
Bill, do you think this will play out this way at the voting booth? Do you think there are? Do you think that there are Democrats? I'm not talking political players. I'm talking about regular Democrats who are seeing this now and going, I was for Ford and I wanted a fair thing, but this is ridiculous.
You're asking for people to basically change their opinions. That's very rare. All scientific studies on politics show that people loathe to change their opinion. They don't like to admit they were wrong.
I don't understand that.
All right? It's just human nature. But what this is going to do is give the Republicans a real strong 1-2 punch with the economy. So you got the economy and then you have this. Corruption on the other side. That's how I would frame it.
All right, hang on. We're getting ready to take the vote. Let's just listen in for just a second.
Sure.
The question is, is it the sense of the Senate that debate on the nomination of Brett M. Kavanaugh of Maryland to be an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court shall be brought to a close? The yeas and nays are mandatory under the rule. The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Alexander.
Oh, my God, it's happening.
Ms. Baldwin. Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett.
2-2.
Mr. Blumenthal. Mr. Blunt. Mr. Booker. Mr. Bozeman.
Notice they didn't say it so we can
Mr.
hear
Brown.
it. Yeah.
Mr. Burr. Ms. Cantwell.
It's a big moment in American history.
This is a pivot point.
Mr. Cardin.
What does this mean, Bill,
Mr.
for
Carper.
history,
Mr. Casey.
either direction?
Mr. Cassidy.
I don't know yet. I mean, I can't speculate on that. I can just, I know I'm pretty good at evaluating the mood of the country. You may remember that 5 days before the election of 2016, I predicted Trump would win, and I predicted because people didn't like Hillary Clinton and would stay home. I mean, that was my best that I ever did. Mm-hmm. Right now, I am feeling it everywhere I go. I know a lot of people, and I'm around, okay, that the regular folks know this was a sham, and they know that Kavanaugh and his family were damaged very badly by people who didn't care to seek the truth. They know that. That, I think, will play out in our politics, but you got to remember, there's a powerful, corrupt lobby that is driving the Me Too thing, and the media
Hang on,
is...
Flake.
Mr. Gardner.
What was Flake?
This is Gillibrand.
We'll give you that in a second. Sorry,
Mr.
go ahead.
Graham. Mr. Grassley. Ms. Harris.
Flake was an aye, I believe.
Okay.
I thought so, too.
Ms. Hassan.
You have to understand that the media, in conjunction with the fanatics, the zealots, is powerful to drive
Ms.
things.
Heitkamp.
So I don't
Heitkamp, hold on.
to stop.
Hold on.
Mr. Heller.
She's a no.
Heitkamp was
Ms.
Heller,
Hirono.
a yes is a big one.
Mr. Hoven. Mrs. Hyde-Smith.
Yeah. Murkowski coming
Mr.
up.
Inhofe. Mr. Isaacson. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kane. Mr. Kennedy. Aye. Mr. King.
Murkowski's a big one.
Ms. Klobuchar. Mr. Kyle. Mr. Lankford. Mr. Leahy. Mr. Lee. Mr. Manchin. Mr. Markey.
What did he say?
Mrs. McCaskill.
Here comes Murkowski.
Mr. McConnell. Mr. Menendez.
Almost there.
Mr. Merkley.
A lot of M's.
Mr. Moran.
Okay, come on.
All right, stop it.
Ms. Murkowski.
Silence, so we don't know.
Mr. Murphy.
We'll know soon.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, we didn't know on Manchin or Murkowski. Those are the two very interesting ones.
And it's strange. I'm watching all of the networks, and none of them are catching the votes. So no one is.
Yeah.
Nor is the New York Times. We're looking at all the sites right now to see what the actual total is. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is not the final vote.
They're going to close debate, and then they'll vote tomorrow, and I do believe Kavanaugh will be confirmed. Nobody wants to be on the wrong side of this, and the winds are blowing against the Democrats now. The winds have shifted.
Bill, this is a big deal for the winds shifting, don't you think? I mean, this is the first time I have ever seen this tactic by the Democrats backfire on them.
I don't know. The Clarence Thomas stuff was pretty rough. And I think that African Americans at the time were pretty angry about it. But that, of course, dissipated once he got on the court. The question is, if Kavanaugh is confirmed, will this all go away? Will people just say, okay, the good guys won, and we're not real interested in punishing the Democrats. I don't think so anymore.
I don't think so.
I just think people are so furious that they're gonna take it out on the Democrats.
I think the Democrats think that they control these activists. They really think that they can, tap them, turn them on and turn them off. No, I know they do, but I think they're approaching a time where they're not going to be able to turn them off.
I don't see it that way. It's very well organized. You're going to get individuals that confront people in restaurants, zealots like that. You're going to have that, and somebody might get hurt. But on the organized front, these people are very disciplined, and there's about a dozen organizations now where money's flooding in to disrupt the process on the part of the far left.
Stand by, some news here.
A lot.
Mr. Wicker.
One thing, a couple things here. Collins, one of the big ones, a yes. Flake,
and Flake's a yes,
and he's yes. So
and I'm sure Murkowski was a yes, and Manchin, I don't know. That's an interesting one.
We're in the middle of looking at that right now. And Bill, do you think that they just overplayed their hand here?
Yeah,
I really feel like they could have had Murkowski, they could have had Collins if they really played this seriously, but instead they overplayed their hand to an incredible degree.
Absolutely, and they didn't have what they didn't have. Look, I went through this. And all of a sudden, every time I turned around, there was somebody else saying, well, O'Reilly did this. That wasn't true. All right? So what they thought was that more people were going to come out and point a finger at him, or somebody was going to bolster Ford's party statement, going, oh, yeah, I was at that party, and I saw this. What do they have to lose? They threw it out there. The press accepted it as fact and made it easier for people to come through. And then you had Avenatti and all these other crazy people piling on. And the left said, look, this is what usually happens. But here, with the FBI involvement and, pretty strong statement by Kavanaugh saved himself.
Yeah, he did.
One of the things that I couldn't do was save myself because they didn't want, they being Fox, me to address it.
Yes.
I couldn't save myself. Kavanaugh did.
We have
that's what turned it.
It does look like Joe Manchin has voted yes on Kavanaugh.
All right, so that means that Kavanaugh, that Manchin's going to vote to confirm him. And the reason Manchin's doing that is because if he voted against Kavanaugh, that he might lose the election.
Now, are the people of West Virginia that stupid?
We do have one no vote from Lisa Murkowski. So Murkowski is out. Manchin is in. Flake is in. Collins is in. This just should be enough for him to get confirmed here.
Yeah, because if it's a tie, Pence breaks it.
Correct.
Now, if Murkowski votes against Kavanaugh, she's through in the Republican Party. She's finished.
Yeah.
She won't get a nickel from any Republican, and I believe that her Senate career will be over. I think the people of Alaska, a very conservative state, will throw her out.
Do you think, Joe? Do you think, Bill, that we have with Murkowski the situation where she knew it was going to go through, wanted to vote no, was able to vote no because she knew they had the 50 votes?
Doesn't matter. Just the no vote going against every single one of her colleagues isolates her and puts her as a pariah. Word of the day, pariah, in the Republican Party.
Okay.
That's an amazing situation. I didn't think Murkowski was going to put her entire career at risk over this, but apparently she has.
Well, she could vote yes tomorrow.
How though? If she's voting not to advance the nomination to the floor,
well, now it's sitting there.
How does she vote yes, I want to confirm it?
Because I didn't think that it should go forward, but now it's gone forward, and so now I'm going to, because a lot of people are calling my office, and I'm afraid for my career. I am going to vote yes.
Maybe, but that's a pretty tough line to walk.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to do it. But.
It's an interesting point in that one of the most shocking vote results that I can remember in my entire lifetime was Lisa Murkowski beating Joe Miller on a write-in ballot in that Senate campaign several years ago. Does Alaska reward Murkowski after this with another election? I mean, I
don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
They are very independent. They are conservative, but they're very independent, and we'll wait and see. Bill, thank you so much. BillO'Reilly.com.
Have a good weekend.
You got
Thanks,
it.
Bill.
Talk to you next week.